Welcome back to the Lenz Comic Corner Classics as Non-Classics, episode number 1030 and Doubleshot number 923. Yep. As I mentioned in my last video that you probably received, but I put it up. This basically is on two BC magical trades. First up, it is Justice League Dark, Volume 2, Books of Magic. You're probably thinking, okay, last time you reviewed the trade for this series, for this volume anyways, you reviewed Volume 3. Why have you Volume 1 yet? It's on the way. Okay, but this trade collects issues 713 of the Just Like Dark series, along with issue 0 and the first annual. Written by Jeff Lemire. Well, he's the main writer for most of the issues in here. We also have Peter Mulligan do the first two issues in here. Artwork by Michael Janin, Lee Gerbert, Daniel Semfer, Cam Smith, and Admir Regia. The cover art here is now by Ryan Snook. Yes, the first couple issues is simply a crossover with I Vampire. That's simply what it is, and it's also the last two issues Peter Mulligan wrote for the series before he left. I'm not really sure why he left for, but it's probably due to the toxic environment. Maybe he was contracted. If I get a chance to meet Peter Mulligan, I'm probably going to ask about it. Either that he was fired, like how Higgins was when he worked on frickin' Deathstroke. He got fired after basically doing 8 issues. Yep. Now, the whole thing that comes right after that, the remaining 5 issues, is simply put, basically what the series became known for. Basically, with the group named Just Like Dark, and they get their own base operations, because if you read like when they start the series, they have no base operations. Well, technically they were based about Madame Xanadu's shop, and apparently between issues 8 and 9 the group disbanded. So the current group is basically you see in the cover, which is just, well, Zatanna, Deadman, John Constantine, Madame Xanadu. I don't think is on the. I think she's on the roster for these issues. Yes, along with, I believe it's Andrew Bennett. Yeah, he's on the roster too. Let's see. It's a few people, along with Black Orchid, and I think, Timothy Hunter also joins the team as well. Yeah, also this is the issue we have the post-Flashlight version of Felix Faust. Yes, a guy who became one of the main villains of the Very Blight storyline, along with Nick Necro. He makes his debut in these issues. And you also have Dr. Mist. Yes, Dr. Mist. If you don't know who this guy is, he's simply a minor sorcerer from DC Comics. They also mention Sturgon here. It means he's probably still canon. And oh yeah, we also have Frankenstein of Shade. He joins the group with these issues. We also have a brief tension with having Amethyst on the roster. Yes, Amethyst from the Gem World. The woman who basically is Amethyst. Yes, the character who at the time these issues were coming out was all starring her own solo book, Sword of Sorcerer, which simply is a retelling, a rebooted story for her, and she's a really good character. And aside from appearing in this series and her own, she really hasn't done anything since Sword of Sorcery ended. The whole first start with the Black Room. Of course, they mentioned the whole Black Room basically containing like magical objects. John Constantine tricked Zatanna, revealing that possibly her father's hat is in the room. It really isn't. One of the things he grabbed was Merlin's staff. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. We also have the Sons of Trigon. Yeah, they actually the Demon Trio. Yeah, the thing with these three is that these three showed up in the same issue that Felix Faust made his debut in back in Just League America number 12 back in the 60s. Yes. Despite the fact that Felix Faust is a Justice League villain, it's fine though he appears in Justice League Dark, because after all, he's a magic-based villain, and this is a magical-based series, so why the heck not? And because, well, they got a new team, okay, so what other thing that the series is known for that is kind of associated when people think of this particular series? Why, the House of Secrets. Yep, John Constantine won the key. It's revealed that John Constantine won, basically got the key to the house via winning in a poker game he played. Yes, he owns the House of Secrets. Isn't that awesome? Though the House of Secrets actually does play a part in some of the stories for the series, and it's great though when it does. He played a part in the final arc of this particular run, though it does not take part in the current run by James Tynion. Nope. And of course, they have to briefly work with Steve Trevor. They get Timothy Hunter involved. Yeah, Timothy Hunter from the Books of Magic series. They mention Books of Magic. Apparently, it's this cube. And so it puts this issues in here, sets up the next storyline, Death of Magic. Yep. But these issues are pretty good. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. In case you wonder what happened to Amethyst because she's not in the next issues, she did pretty much nothing. Yes, that's the weird thing about this character. Like, after she wrapped up time in this book, and of course popping up in the pages of course, appearing in Sword of Sorcery, which came just I think it was like just before this. Yeah, basically she just disappeared. She hasn't appeared since then. Though I will talk about Mr. Andrew Bennett, which I'm going about right now. Which here's the final trade that collects his ongoing series. I Vampire, Volume 3, Mutilation, Wave Mutilation. This collects issues 0 and 13 to 19 of this ongoing series. Written by Joshua Hale Fakralorf. Yeah, those of you familiar with this writer, this guy also wrote Godzilla in Hell. He also wrote the Ultimate FF series, the series with really awful artwork. He's written some other some really good series. Highly recommend checking this guy out. We also have Andrea Sorrentino, who's also known for being the artist for the Green Arrow books and the Green Arrow title, and she recently did, Andrea's a woman, recently was the artist for the Old Man Logan series. This is the first trade I reviewed from this particular series in 4 years, not since episode 121. Yes, 4 years ago, which means that was back in 2015. Was the last time I dealt with this. I just basically never bothered to order the next volume because I kind of wanted to, but I never did. These issues is the end of this particular series. Basically, these issues, Andrew Bennett is evil, and he's working with the woman he basically turned into a vampire at the start of the series. Kane, who's been kind of like one of the villains of the series, he's turned human, but then basically his former allies work with his girlfriend Mary to basically reverse his evilism. Well, basically him being evil. And then they do, in exchange for sending Kane to hell. Yep. And of course shown in the 0 issue that Kane is responsible for turning Andrew Bennett into a vampire. Yep. I didn't know if that was true in the original stories, but that's true here. He reunites with Mary, who's in her this whole white chalk skin with her wearing no clothes and the red lines thing. Yeah, this is also shown in the crossover with Just Like Dark. Yep. Also, the woman he turned into vampire, she pretty much is destroyed by the end of the series. We also have a guest appearance by John Constantine. Yes, John freaking Constantine. Because why not? Because he knows the guy. Yep. Then pretty much the series ended with issue 19, basically kind of wrapping up the story. Now, I'm going to get this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10, really good. Now, what happened to this character after the series ended? Well, he did pop up for a cameo in the pages of Blight. Then pretty much immediately after the series, his next immediate appearance was 1 year later in an issue of Batgirl. Yes. That's not a joke. That was literally his next appearance. Was in the pages of Batgirl. Yep. Let's see. Aside from that, I think the guy did appear. I think he did make a cameo in Secret 6. Gale's most Secret 6, but that is all that's pretty much been done with this character. I mean, the series is fantastic, and apparently, I was looking up online, apparently the series was not to be canceled issue 15, so at least that the writer of the series, Joshua Forlerf, basically got a chance to wrap up the story. He was satisfied with the ending of the series. Okay, fine, but could you at least do something with this character? I mean, I wouldn't mind if part of the current Justice League Dark would be my interesting choice. I mean, aside from John Constantine and Santana and Swamp Thing, the current lineup basically has almost nothing to do with the previous lineup at all. Yep. But as of with this trade right here, this ends the review for this particular trade series for iVampire. As for in the case of Justice League Dark, however, there's still one more trade left. The original volume. Yeah, and also in the vampire tie crossover issues, they actually have team up with Batgirl, which of course she mentions basically Batman interact with just like Dark in the previous volume, which I'll get to in a future review. Yes. As for John Constantine show up in I Vampire, this is nothing unusual for John Constantine. He always loves popping people's titles. He started appearing just like Dark in his own title. He popped up Phantom Stranger. He popped up, let's see. He also popped up. He's popped up. He loves popping up other books. Like this is very common for him in pages of, in the Vertigo books, where he loved appearing in every other people's books. People love writing about John Constantine. Yes, and John Constantine, I do know about him getting their ongoing series soon under the Sandman Universe stuff. Though it's called John Constantine Hellblazer, which I'm looking forward to when it comes out. But yeah, but that's it for this particular review. Still got 4 more videos coming. Next one, as of right now, looks like next one's gonna be Bard. So okay, but see you next review. Bye.